Come to you with News and Current Affairs program. Good morning, Salon station for the very best in radio listen.
Good morning and welcome to the last edition of the program Good Morning Salon for this week, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. Today na Friday, March 22nd, 2024, and where they bring come this edition of the program Good Morning Salon come to you. Leone na Yeno Kabia.
And Musa Kamara Namiyunim. Inside today's edition of the program Good Morning Saloon, the Director of Fiscal Risk Department, the Minister of Finance, Dr. Al-Hassan Mansare, say the aim of the Disaster Risk Financing Strategy and Implementation Plan Saloon now for raise $100 million inside the next 5 years for support the fight against disaster risk in the country. The chairman for the Presidential Initiative on Climate Change, Renewable Energy and Food Security, Dr. Kande Koleyum Kela, say then they work now for develop action plan for make people get access to clean cooking gas. And today inside the program Good Morning Salon, Radio Democracy go talk to representative from the West African Network for Peace Building, ONEP. We go talk about peace and then 25 years anniversary.
Well, this is another story then inside the program for you. Plus, we go talk to representative from People Alliance for Reproductive Health Advocacy, PA. We go can talk about the Safe Motherhood Bill. Members say they listen we on www.radiodemocracy.sl and self they listen we live from a partner radio stations them from Radio Shalom 89.5 na Koinadugu and Falabadi Street. Same way so on Radio Malen 88.5 and Radio 1J 101.3 na Pujaundi Street, Radio Colenten 90.0 na Cambia, Radio Mwa 105.5 na Kailaun, Vopad Radio na Watalo, Voice of Sando na Kono and Voice of Kaine na Kamakwe on 98.0. The program where they listen to na Good Morning Salon and they come to you from Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. You self get the opportunity for be part of the program by where you can say text message to the number 077-981-981 or you go on Radio Democracy Facebook page and drop your comments there.
The program na Good Morning Saloon, you can see from 98.1 FM. Inside the program, they start for look at issues. We go say because of the challenge with telecommunication system, they get now West Africa, make the West African Telecommunication Regulators Assembly don't hold the meeting in Salon for the first time, and this according to the Minister of Communications, Technology and Innovation, Salim Abba. Mobile technology don't give work to 1.7 million people in the world where Salon they part of. For more on this, we get to Usman Kama, we go reports.
Inside 2002, 16 member states in West Africa may come together and set up the West Africa Telecommunication Regulators Assembly for exchange information, share best practice, coordinate action and policy so that West Africa will get proper communication system. Over the past year, this organization done the only annual general meeting in other countries them for talk about the way forward where it can pack communications business. And for the first time, Salondo hosts this meeting with different West Africa member states them. We immediately talk, the Secretary General for the West Africa Telecommunication Regulators Assembly, Yusuf Aboki, start for talk about waiting this organization done the do over the past year.
Over the past few years, WATRA has embarked on a transformative journey marked by significant strides towards achieving the goals set out in our strategic plan for 2022 to 2025. We have seen remarkable progress, notably with the ratification of the revised WATRA Constitution. This pivotal step has laid a solid foundation for our organization's governance and operational efficiency. A major milestone in our journey has been the inaugural and commencement of work by the first ever 3 WATRA working groups, namely Consumer Access and Experience, Infrastructure Development, and Cybersecurity. These groups have become critical drivers in our activities with the unwavering support from our Secretariat. Their work is instrumental in shaping the future of telecommunications in our region, addressing the most pressing challenges and leveraging opportunities for growth, innovation, and development.
Inside a statement, the director wants them come as one and talk about them we go better West Africa telecommunication sector and self been talk about the improvement when NATCA don't do a salon.
Collaborating and working together as ITT regulators gives us an opportunity to discuss best practices, challenges, and profile solutions to the ever-changing dynamics of emerging advancements in telecommunications ecosystems. In line with His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio's vision for digital inclusion, I'm proud to mention the progress made so far in improving connectivity, bridging the digital divide. As a primary source to international connections, the access of high-speed internet through the Africa coast to Europe, a submarine fiber optic, has increased the internet service providers to 31 since 2018. Also, the mobile data penetration has significantly increased from 15.05% in 2018 to 24.82% as of December 2023, making a percentage increase of 64.92%.
Salima Ba, now the Minister of Communications, Technology and Innovation, inside in keynote address, he say mobile technology don't contribute $144 billion to the world economy.
As government stakeholders, as we consider access to food, healthcare, and education as fundamental and basic human rights, so too must we consider access to internet and mobile services as a moral imperative and obligation. The transformative impact of mobile technologies and internet penetration to improve education, healthcare, entrepreneurship, and demographic participation is undeniable. It is reported that mobile technologies alone have generated 1.7 million jobs and contributed to $144 billion to the continent's economy, which is about 8.5% of GDP. But while mobile and internet penetration has expanded significantly in recent years, with 570 million internet users reported in 2023, many communities, especially in our rural and remote areas, still lack adequate connectivity.
Inside this engagement, the Chief Minister, Dr. David Senge, end up assure West African member states them say government ready for support this organization, as Amara Briwa, Director General for NATCA, don't be the new chairman for WATRA. For the Society for Radio Democracy, Mina Usman Kamara, the report.
The program where they listen to on a Good Morning Salon where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy, 98.1 FM. Earlier on, as we read power headlines to read them, say we go talk to representative from WANEP. We go can talk about peace and safe. They talk about the 25-year anniversary. Well, the West Africa Network for Peace Building Sierra Leone, now a national network of peace building civil society organization, them will include women group, the religious institution, them also they don't encourage and mobilize local initiative for peace building, promotion of gender justice, conflict resolution, and plenty other women and plenty other things. And this organization gets membership of 58 registered organizations them across the country. Also, I don't talk on different things. We go promote peace and national cohesion. Well, for sake of that, I want to welcome the acting national network coordinator for WANEP, Dominic Boyma. We're there for talk about the different things what they don't do. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning, 98.1. Good morning, Sierra Leone.
Okay, and from that small background, you are only for security WANEP they do. So for family, you can don't say we'll get WANEP na the studio for talk on different things. So waiting on the app on now WANEP.
First, WANEP gets a transition, I think, early in May 2023, where the national network coordinator will now be the respectable Dr. Aissata Mahoy. The president be appointed as Minister for Gender and Children's Affairs. And so the board may ask me for step up in SUS and continue the operations of WANEP Sierra Leone. And then at the first thing. And so we don't continue with reprogramming since after elections. You know, so we get some elections intervention. We get the election situation room. We get monitors. We've been trained across the country with the support with data on how the situation they go. We train security personnel through ONS. We do several other engagement leading to the election and also after the election. So yes, WANEP done they carry on with several activities across the country even after the transition, and we still they continue.
So you don't talk about the different things that don't they do. Let me look, you say wanna be monitor the election and all. So after monitoring the election, we been see plenty people on the make gas peace, society peace, they don't they unbug the peace of the country. In that area, the one up done they did talk about peace and all that thing them. Wait una don't do una be they do so far for see the country maintain the peace we get.
We continue for engage state parties. When I say state parties, at national level here in Sierra Leone and across the West Africa nations, we engage strongly. We also be done the engage other partners, like you talk about the introduction. We get several other agencies where we work with, so we engage them strongly. We don't be an active player. Through we National Elections Response Group, where the chairperson of that response group, now the Archbishop of Freetown, Edward Tamba Charles. We engage through with District Election Response Group. We do several engagement from the district level. And you and I know that the 2023 election we classify as one of the peaceful election where we don't get within the 5 elections we Sierra Leone don't ever hold. So based on we work, immediately after the election, we'll see a whole lot of other issues will happen. And we continue for dialogue and engage to the point that we even, participate in the dialogue session we happened in October between the two political parties because there was a standoff after election. We equally engage young people and from all the political parties into a dialogue. Now, this is the situation. How do we move past this issue where they happen? Because we are the next generation of leaders we get for takeover. So yes, we do a 2 days dialogue session with support from Rainbow Initiative. We'll be holding at the Peace Museum. So several of their engagements then they lead to waiting we get so now we a little bit stable, and then in November as well we'll see the November 26th incident will happen, and we come out strongly as an organization for condemn, but equally we recommend to the state waiting them for do.
Now let me look at what happened after the election. As you mentioned, say we have been very active in the election. Una network for peace building, for instance, for West Africa. But after the election, we see Usai, perhaps the key stakeholders in the negotiation be the call for people outside Salone for come mediate for peace, and things that will happen after the election. What in una make up of that as an organization waiting for peace building in the country?
First, we look at say both states and non-state actors need for improve on the credibility and the legitimacy, because if stakeholders they call for outside intervention, it means then credibility around civil society organization and even state party institutions drop a little bit. But that not to say that civil society organizations not credible at all. We know that the landscape, for example, don't change quite a lot in terms of civil society intervention, and that again goes send doubt in a lot of people in mind in terms of intervention. But equally in adjudication, the two parties always get right for say, okay, this person will be the best person for adjudicate. So we hold that respect there, and that was why we go into the dialogue, believing in waiting the people and want an external adjudicator.
As body way for peace building exclusively now, when I walk around the election, where somebody go say perhaps one EP for them be one of the body them for them champion that peace process. When I feel disappointed that key players in the negotiation ask for international body or international organizations then for coming and mediate.
No, we not feel disappointed, because at the end of the day, the bigger picture na peace, and no matter who that sit on at the table for adjudicate for that, once we end up forget the bigger picture or the big results when our peace, then we are all fine, and that is what we are working for. And in Peace Commission they work for, and several other institutions they push for peace.
And before we talk about our 25-year anniversary, we don't talk about peace and all that in the country. So we see the transition be happen inside May this year, inside the last year, the president's been picked, Dr. Aissata Mahoy, for be the Minister of Gender, we now be the head this institution. So during this transition, waiting on the happen now one EP for CC, one EP continue for do the thing them other than they do more, especially when camp and peace in the country.
After the transition, because it was a shocking one, okay. The entire organization, including the board, not being prepared for them. We not be say the president, the IMAC, somebody where they work for ONEP. And so we try for restructure, both system and both people wise, and ensure say we fit into the shock. And so we don't manage from that time to now for continue for their love and engage strongly in we activities where we they do. And that is what we don't push for till the end of 2023. And now we don't start with a new fresh programming in terms of women peace and security, youth peace and security, and for strengthening we early warning system, because when you talk about early warning across West Africa, OneUp is the biggest in terms of early warning. And so yes, we get the transition, but we don't stay very strong, and that is why, in fact, you get me now, and that is why, in fact, we celebrate 25 years after intervention.
After we then Bidon appoints the network coordinator, this in any way gets impact on our work after the appointment in terms of public trust, because Salon then get the perceptions anybody where the president appoints, perhaps that person Bidon be a politician.
No. This is one of the appointments where we engage with the regional office. We talk very clearly that affect we work in any way, and we temperature check after the appointment. How do people feel about our intervention within anything? And most of the people where we talk to on this issue, no gets any way for discredit the work we want to do in Sierra Leone.
So, how we don't sound like for you as somebody we take over Dr. Aissata Mahoy, as you say, for the acting that capacity for Suti una settle up?
Challenging, because you take up a team where you get for move them, you need for fix the direction, you need for get programs for continue. You and I know how Dr. Aissata Mahoy big on advocacy, how he big on peace building, and so if you take over from him, you get for really up your game for ensure say you meet the targets with the organization set, you meet the system where the organization want for be, for make it continue for operate. You're able for ensure say the stakeholders within the circle, because we are a network-based organization, you able for meet student requirement, and that's what we've been doing as an agency. It's a young team, and we don't push through for the side with it. So, and we hope so we will continue for push through.
And we talk about the thing they wanna don't they do one of the network we don't they talk on early signs them now West Africa, another one and Salon we don't see after the election and on, and you don't talk about a different project there is on again women peace and security, youth peace and security, another one them. So in any way them programming on I don't see any early sign, because as people, or I'm not going for describe the country in peace right now.
I think we still they do well as a country. In 2023, they rate we as the first now West Africa in terms of being the most peaceful country. The GPI, when at the Global Peace Index, puts Sierra Leone around 168 in terms of peace. With fragility being the around 92, it dropped to 81.4%. That shows yes, Sierra Leone they go through pressures like economic situation, you and I know, pressures like political rhetorics, tribal rhetorics. So tribalism there across, we get, internal conflicts here and there, we get even political conflicts here and there, but still we do well in terms of peace as a nation.
Okay, continue for the with the program. In the acting national coordinator for OneUp, we name na Dominic Boyma. We there they talk about the different thing and self later na the program get for talk about the 25-year anniversary we OneUp they celebrate. The program Good Morning Salon they continue.
And inside the program, as we mentioned, inside One Power Airlines Tourism, we talk to the vice chairperson for People's Alliance for Reproductive Health Advocacy, PAHA. We na Teresa Ojong. We the inside the program for talk about the Safe Motherhood Bill. Well, for Sika, that's one for welcome on the program. Good morning and welcome to the program. Good morning, Salon.
Good morning, listeners. Good morning. In the democracy.
Okay, a quick background on the People's Alliance for Reproductive Health Advocacy Network. We na a coalition of sexual reproductive health and right advocates na Salon. The membership gets for do with NGOs, CSOs, with leaders, community-based organizations, and other one them. And this organization be established in 2017. The coalition done the work for influence sexual reproductive health and rights issues them. Now the country with the current support from Amplify Change, the coalition the work for implement project with entitled Strengthen National Advocacy on Safe Motherhood Bill. We now the issue we get the vice chairperson now the studio for talk on and then work. Once again, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, as I don't give background to PAHA and the establishment since 2017 and within una don't they do. What are some of the key activities the una don't they do in the area of reproductive health and rights advocacy?
Thank you very much, Mr. Musa, for that important question. Well, just like you don't get the background, we all work now advocacy. What are some of the things we don't do? We don't engage with a lot of the key stakeholders. We don't engage with parliament. We don't engage with interreligious council. We don't engage with paramount chiefs, different organizations. Them because we all get diverse backgrounds, so we all get with strengths in different area of mobilization, awareness raising. We don't work with a lot of women's groups, youth groups. We don't teach them a lot about the sexual reproductive health and rights for men, women, adolescents, and even children. So we on work there on advocacy. We try for talk to the government for help for make them able for pass this bill, 2024 sexual safe mother reproductive health bill. We don't do a lot of work around this area from 2017 where pardon be established in Sierra Leone. And as I said, we talk around plenty issues like maternal deaths na Sierra Leone.
When they look at the issue or the reasons them why we not push for the safe motherhood bill, but you say we not established in 2017. What in give una the urge for form an alliance for talk on reproductive health and rights?
Yes, but in give you the alliance, like you rightly say in your background, we notice say sexual reproductive health rights now rights for everybody, man, woman, even young adolescents and children. We notice say a lot of problems in the area of maternal mortality. We know say in 2013, like we get 1,165 per 100,000 live births. So that might be a problem for we. That be a concern for we. But now, thankfully, with all the advocacy, we self-join, other areas then join the other civil society organizations, even the government. Of course, they take the lead. We just support the government. So we don't able for bring and canon to 717 per 100,000 live births. But we still feel say that is not enough. We want for maybe further reduced to a bare minimum because we don't want Sierra Leone for the day on the map for the wrong things. We also they talk about the number of we talk about sexual reproductive health, like I say. We they talk about HIV and AIDS. We know say a lot of issues are around HIV and AIDS. So we advocate for make even the one who they suffer from HIV and AIDS, make them get treatment, make them get other things that we will go able for prolong the life. We don't talk to people about sexually transmitted all day inside our building about sexually transmitted infections. Waiting at the cause, waiting they go do if they're able for if they get that they experience sexually transmitted infections. Waiting for the side for go, who's for get the information, who's for get the treatment. We'd also talk about human rights abuses, sexual gender-based violence. We dey talk to the men them, we dey get focus group discussions, we dey talk to the woman them, we dey talk to the stakeholders in the community. Wetin them for do when for how for prevent all the issues and the way I don't raise so. Then we dey also talk about we dey see signs of teenage pregnancy. We want to see a drastic reduction in the area of teenage pregnancy and by extension early marriage. All the issues and the way they talk to them, we get with different women's group, we get with other groups where they talk to the people about their issues and the.
As my colleague earlier be activating be make una from this organization, you talk about sexual reproductive health and all that in them. So you don't talk about the different thing on I don't do. So it's not be the outcome, the results on I don't get in advocating for this them particular tier you don't talk about.
Yes, well, that brings me to the reason we make this bill. We don't see say all of this bill all of the issues that we don't advocate for, we don't talk for then one bill where go be comprehensive so that we go then go look at them. And I'll give you the urge because we feel say government will not make a commitment, no less a person in the first gen.
Is it that same bill una they modify una overhaul them and come with a different bill?
No, we not overhaul nothing. This is
It's
a
the
safe
same bill.
mother. It is not the same bill. It is different. We not dey talk about procurement of or whatever of abortion. No, it is the safe motherhood bill which encompasses all the issues them on around sexual reproductive health rights wey we don dey discuss so far.
When you come with safe motherhood bill, perhaps the argument could be, oh, perhaps because religious leaders or other sets of society don't frown at this, then change the name and come with. Now, make I ask you, what's the difference between the safe motherhood bill and the abortion bill or safe abortion bill, where the president not being re-signed and sending it?
Yes, because as I tell you, it is different. Not on the same bill. That one was a private member bill wey been passed. This bill here, hopefully when it's passed, is being led by the Minister of Health. Minister of Health. It has nothing to do with abortion. No, we never mention that. It's safe motherhood is purely sexual reproductive health and rights for women, girls, and even the men. So perhaps other one they will just get bill about women, but this is very comprehensive. It is not shrouded. It is it's a completely different bill. We've been doing research, we've been doing trainings, we've been advocating with stakeholders in the community about this bill. We not talk nothing. It has nothing to do with anything. On
you don't talk about something you get for do with teenage pregnancy, how woman can go born another one day. Then you end up say with other human rights abuse and violation. Waiting at the other human rights abuse and violation with the inside this bill with the hamburg according to you woman and man them.
Well, we don't talk about the human rights abuses, and we say okay, the other violations, other SRH issues them. For example, sometimes picking them or women, they get access to sexual reproductive health rights, or even if they go to the clinics, they're not able to get treatment. So we want them the other, because that could form part of the violations. Because if you go to a health facility, it's also to be accessible, affordable. So all of those will get for look into that. So that could constitute some of the violations of the sexual reproductive health rights.
When we come back to you, we look at provisions them within this bill. We would not think say na inhuman or it will get some maltreatment on woman then, but with this bill it will be safe for both man and woman in terms of reproductive rights. In name Nateri Ojong, Vice Chairperson for People's Alliance for Reproductive Health Advocacy, PAHA, inside the program they talk about the Safe Motherhood Bill. The program na Good Morning Saloon, they can see from 98.1 FM. The program is still listening to Good Morning Saloon with the country from 98.1 FM, and we will bring you this edition of the program Good Morning Saloon. Musa Kamana Minim.
When me onim na yeno kabia inside the program, we continue for look at issues them. The visioneer for women in worship salon, Mayama Johnson, said their organization and planner for empower women them and self encourage them for get personal relationship with God. Where this making say then they organize them women in worship session we go be tomorrow. And as in they encourage women them for be part of this. When they explain more to we reporter Sonia Bell inside this interview for sake of these women in worship.
The program is still listening to our Good Morning Saloon, where they come to you from the Society for Radio Democracy 98.1 FM. When we get insights, we could bring and come to you. The program is still listening to our Good Morning Saloon from 98.1 FM. We take one power headline stories, then we go inside the chairman for the Presidential Initiative on Climate Change, Renewable Energy and Food Security, Dr. Kanda Kolayum Kela, say inside June this year, then they work now for develop a plan for clean cooking gas for make people get access to them. Dr. Kande Kolayum Kela talk this inside one engagement we then get for women them on clean cooking gas. For more on this, we join Yeno Kabia.
Last year, the President Julius Maada Bio been set up the Presidential Initiative on Climate Change, Renewable Energy and Food Security as way for get trend to climate resilience across key growth sector them na the country. And this secretariat don't they get different engagements them as way for implement different program them. Now for sake of this, make they don't get one engagement with women them. Also then talk on gender, on energy and clean cooking. During this engagement, and we get different panelists them. We talk on different things then and self-talk on how they for improve gender on energy and clean cooking at salon. Dr. Kande Koleyum Kela, now the chairman for the Presidential Initiative on Climate Change, Renewable Energy and Food Security, been talking more about this engagement.
The Ministry of Energy has led the process of organizing an Energy Roundtable. It's an annual event where we assess the policy reforms that the country has done with the support of many international development partners and what else we will do this year and the following year. And if you notice, all the donors were there: World Bank, African Development Bank, the other bilateral development partners, all were there the last 2 days with Mr. President. What we did today is to take one aspect of what we discussed in that roundtable, which is energy and gender and clean cooking, to go in depth for 3 hours with additional development partners and the women's associations. So the Women's Forum helped us invite a number of women leaders to be here.
Dr. Yumkela continues to say, inside June this year, then go don't put together action plan for clean cooking.
The action plan already, according to the World Bank, their timetable is by June we'll have an action plan. And it will be the first time we have a good action plan for clean cooking in the country. That action plan also will indicate the policies we have to put in place, some of the interventions that can be done by donors and other financing institutions. I'm in discussions with OPEC Fund. I'm trying to get a grant from them as well. I'm in discussion with another donor to see how we get some grant money in this space to support some of our producers, but also to support advocacy. These issues are not necessarily widely known in the country. And the connection to climate, to gender empowerment, to food security and health is not clear. So again, why we need the Women's Association and the women leaders of the country to also help us in this effort.
Where in the talk, the Chief of Climate Technology Initiative Unit, Alos Blanga, say government need for give more sabi to financial service provider them on the benefits of gender on energy.
Is to systematically unlock the ingenuity and creativity of female and youth-led entrepreneurs in developing innovative businesses in the energy transition that can be transformed into fast-growing, scalable, and investable enterprises and projects. But we also need to equally sensitize financial service providers on the benefits of gender-led investing in projects in the energy and climate change space. We cannot expect women to come just develop projects, but yet investors, when they see the woman, they say, wow, does she even make a account? Can she read? We need to go and educate the financial service providers so that when they assess the women-led or youth-led business, they are able to quantify the benefit, they are able to understand the multiple impacts of that business to community and be able to finance it, even though she cannot read, even though she doesn't have a bank account. So we need to also work with financial service providers.
Inside Ion Talk, the Chief Executive Officer for Clean Cooking Alliance, Dinfna Vandalan, been talk about challenge them, where in say, woman then they get, when they cook pan charcoal. But how important this engagement stays to woman them.
Although more than 1.5 billion people have gained access to clean and modern cooking fuels since 2010, more than 1 in every 3 women still have no choice but to cook over smoky, toxic fuels and fires, charcoal and kerosene, to prepare meals for themselves and their families. Every day, millions of women and girls around the world breathe in harmful smoke while cooking,